I'm Megan Mitchell. This is my co-host, John Morrison, and you are listening to the True North Racing Podcast.
Time to strap in, pull those belts, and get ready for an action-packed episode of the True North Racing Podcast. Are you ready to unmask? Unhelmet your favorite racers? Get ready for the most fun you'll have outside the racetrack to get you ready for the next race. You're listening to John Morrison and Megan Mitchell, and this is the True North Racing Podcast.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the True North Racing Podcast, presented by Driving With Hailey. I'm your host, John Morrison. Welcome back to part 3 of our Champions episode. This is just part 3 of our celebrating champions, I guess we're going to call it. Tonight, guys, we got a few good drivers joining us. We're going to have Chris Allard, who in just a few minutes join us. He was the Sunset Bone Stock champion. We're going to be joined by Ray Morneau, who's the Delaware late model champion. And then we're going to go on to Ricky Willigar, who's the Grindstone Landscaping Canadian Vintage Modified champion. And then to cap it off here, we are going to have Tyler Hawn from OSCAAR Hot Rods and Carson Nagy from the DAYCO Super Stocks join us in just a little bit. Man, I hope you guys have been enjoying this. We're halfway in. Part 1 and 2 are out now. If you guys are just listening to this one for the first time, go find us on your favorite podcast platform or over on YouTube. Click the True North Racing Podcast, click the True North Racing Podcast drop down menu on YouTube. All the videos will be there. Go ahead go check them out. We're chatting to some really, really good champions, and we've had some really great conversations, and we're going to continue that tonight on the program. So first up is going to be Chris Allard from Sunset. First up in part 3, we got Chris Allard joining us. Chris, how's it going, man?
Good, yourself?
Doing really well, thank you. We're going to get right into it. How was your 2024 season?
2024 season was one of the best seasons I think a driver could ask for. Other than a little health hiccup there throughout the season, all of our runs were on par and top. I think we finished outside the top 3 there once, with a 4th place finish being our worst finish all season. We have 4 seconds and 5 wins, and championship to go with it, and can't really go wrong with that.
Absolutely not. You know, it's always good when your year-long efforts really pay off at the end of the season when you get handed that trophy and be like, you are the champion this year for your division. You know, to go along with those wins, like you said, you didn't even finish outside the top 3 except for once. You said,
I think once we finished 4th once.
You know that
a little bonehead move that happened with 3 to go, so I got sent to the back, and we had to do some real driving to get back up there with a green-white checker.
Oh, geez, that's crazy to be able to go back to the from the back to the front there on a green-white checkered. First of all, your car is the one that has the sound speaker in it, correct?
Yeah, we got
okay.
We got 2 15-inch subs in the back of in the trunk there, 3,000 watts. Apparently, you can hear them from the announcing tower. You can hear them from the far end of the pits. I always get Sandra Todish yelling at me to put music on when she's at the ticket booth there, so they can hear music there. So there's a lot of times that we're bump starting the car more than it starts on its own, because we've been enjoying the music a little too much. We've killed the battery there, so we've gone out lots of times with the car not really running on 12 volts like it should.
Oh my God.
And just hoping that alternator would hold in there and get a charge maintained for us to finish the race.
Oh, geez. Did you go through many alternators this year just to replace some more batteries, or no?
No, we never. It probably should have had one near the end of the season. I'll tell you the truth, but it got to the point where we were just having fun. It was about family and fun this year, and that's what it. Like, you can't smack the smile off my face because of that. Like, my daughters had the best season of their lives. Like, I got more photos of them in Victory Lane or just having fun with friends, and that's what it's about. It's like, if they want to go camping next year, I'm done racing. We're going camping, but they're the ones that want to race, so that's what we do.
You know, that's awesome, because I've been up to Sunset twice this year, and we were handing out some stickers to some drivers and stuff and whatnot. And Jacqueline was like, my wife Jacqueline turns to me and goes, "Where the hell's that music coming from?" And I go, "I think it's coming from that car over there." And we walk by you and are like, "Yeah, I'm pretty positive it's that car." So, and then of course driving into Victory Lane, I got up there, I was listening in, and coming out of turn 4, I could just hear the music just pounding away, and I'm like, that's a way to celebrate right there.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's crazy when you're the only car on the track, like when the exhaust sounds toned down, how loud it really is. But then, like, I've got videos from people in the top row or the beer gardens with us racing, me coming through the pack, and you can still hear Shania Twain belting her lungs out from the video with the exhaust and stuff too, right? So I don't know, it's kind of cool. Like I said, it's just the reason it's there is one of our sponsors was actually Fast Car Audio, and
Okay.
that's just the deal we worked into it, right? Like we don't. It's not always a money thing. It's like what helps you get through the weekend at the track a bit easier, right? Like so. Like that's just what we worked in for a sponsorship deal, and it turned out pretty cool. And it was a hit. Like it was a hit. The pit party, it was a hit.
You know what? And that was the August 4th day, right?
Yeah.
With the Flying Frank 50 or 49,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, because
I think that was the night you guys were there, actually, was it not?
Yeah, that was the second night we were there. We were there with Roy Wilkie down there, and we brought up KMK that night.
Yeah, okay.
So shortly after, we were like, let's just get going. We would have hung out, but we saw to go back to Scarborough, and so we're like, it's going to be a long night. Let's just get going.
No, 100%. I get it.
But like I said, it's so cool being it because it's also unique marketing too.
Yeah.
And I love that unique marketing. It just piques my interest.
I think you'll see a lot more cars come out with them now that you've seen it. Like the rules, like if you want to get technical and read the rules say stock. It came stock with an 8-inch. We just upgraded a little bit, right? Like it had an 8-inch stock in the trunk when it was on the road, so we just upgraded a little bit. We read around the rules, you know. You got to play the game.
You got to play in those gray areas, right?
Exactly.
You got to make the track make a black and white call. You don't want.
So no one complained about them, which I thought for sure someone was going to be like, no, but they're bolted down real well. Tech got in there and shook them and stuff. There's no way they can come out. They had to actually go in through the back window of the car. That's how big they were. They wouldn't fit through the gate.
Jeez.
So it's not like we're worried about them hitting me if they ever do get in a wreck or anything. But
yeah,
no, they take up the whole back seat.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Next year, if I come out to Sunset, I'll have to come take a look or something.
Yeah, for sure.
Obviously, 5 wins this year, right?
Yeah.
What did those
5 features? Tons of heats, tons of dash for gas.
Yeah, but 5 feature wins, huge accomplishment, really, for anyone.
Yeah.
Which win did you find was the most significant out of all of them for you?
The Frank Davey win, the Flying Frank. If I wasn't racing door to door with his son there, it wouldn't have meant as much. But that one, Frank meant a lot to me too, and he helped me straighten my life out a little bit there before he passed away. But that race definitely meant the most. I would give all my wins away for that one.
That's all, and that's understandable. It sucks when people like that kind of get taken away from us, and to be able to go out for that race especially and go and win it, obviously a big deal for you then.
Yeah, no, it definitely was. Like, I get it's part of life. You got to die, but you're just never ready for that news when you get it. Right? Doesn't matter, brother, sister, friend you grew up with, dog. Like, just you're never ready for that info when it comes. And
oh yeah, you're never ready, but you're supposed to be ready, right? It's one of those weird things.
Part of life, man.
Exactly. But going into the end of the season, obviously, it's a season-long deal. We don't have no fancy playoffs. We don't have any gimmicks. You run 15 to 18 events roughly up at Sunset this year?
11.
Only what?
Yeah, 11. Mother Nature was not our friend at all this year.
To be fair, yes. Okay, so
yeah, we sat out a lot. So I think I want to say my champion, like with final points, was like 1,000 and something. So we only raced 11 nights.
Holy,
yeah.
I Mother Nature was not nice to us this year at all, weather-wise.
No, not at all.
especially you guys up at Sunset. Like that was by far one of the first or worst race seasons I think I've seen for that track.
100%. They're cool though. Like they play the weather well and stuff. Like at least they give you an early chance, so you get a chance to
Yeah.
head out to another track that may be racing or something like that. It's not like they're not the track to get you to show up to take your money and then call it. They'll definitely give you a heads up that we're not racing today. So
Yeah, I do like it when tracks give you that heads up to be like, the weather's not looking promising. Let's just save everyone's grief. But and again, no one can ever win.
no,
You call it beautiful.
you
You don't call it.
Yeah, I was one of those people. Like you can never make everyone happy, right? And you got to realize that as a track owner. Like, guess what? It's not about making y'all happy. It's about they got to make profit at the end of the day too, right? They're not opening their doors just to spend all their money. They got to make money too. If they're gonna have crappy weather and they can see that coming and have 10 fans in the stands, is it really worth running a race? Like,
No,
so
it's not, unfortunately, right? And that's the reality of it sometimes, because down in Flamborough, we hang out in the rain until we get the all clear to go racing.
we don't really got with the high banking at Sunset. We don't got the water drainage quick enough. So usually when we get a good rain there, corner 3-4 fills up pretty fast. So
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part. What did it mean for you to go out and win the championship this year, though?
that was the goal we set out at the beginning of the year. My goal this year was to have an unreal season and go win a championship. So at the end of the season, when one of my goals that I finally set and life kind of fell into place, it was like dreams do come true. But what? Yeah, I've been chasing a championship since 2014, and it never really fell into my favor. But this year, we crossed our T's, dotted our I's, and nothing could have happened to take this away from us. Really, like I said, I got in a real bad accident there mid-season. Couldn't walk. I still can't walk properly. I have no use of my left knee at all, or my right ankle. I actually go for surgery November 1st there to get a complete knee replacement. So I've been in the car ever since then, July 12th, with really no real use of my legs. So I kind of wish I had a season that I could be 100% healthy for, but at the same time, that wish means nothing because I'm still here to tell you about it. And we had an unreal season with injuries, right? So
Yeah.
maybe next year we'll see what we can do as a healthy human being. But
Hey,
I proved what I had to prove this year, and I set out.
hey, you know what? You overcame, you adapted, you overcame, and to be real, like that's nothing to not hang your hat on that one. Like you can hang your hat on that one, be like, I accomplished everything I wanted to, plus more, because
Yep.
you had a bad accident, but you're still here.
Yeah,
Right,
no,
we're
I
having
couldn't
these
get out of the car
conversations.
on my own. If it came to a
Yeah.
bad accident at the track, it probably wouldn't have been good. But I actually had to, every time I get in and out of the car, I had to use a buddy to put arm on the shoulder, just an arm on the roof to get my legs up to swing in the car. Like it wasn't fun. I wasn't comfy in the car at all. Like I think I could have accomplished a lot more if I was
Yeah.
comfy. But you know what? Besides that, we had a stellar year, and I'm not complaining at all by any means.
Yeah. Before we let you go, I want you to be able to give you a few minutes to thank everyone, sponsors, friends, family. Could be a grandparent you've never met in your life that's overseas in in a different country. Could be a future dog that you thinking of having. But we're going to give you the floor for the next few minutes. Feel free to thank everyone and anyone you want.
First, we got to start off with Junior and Josh. Junior's college. Without them, none of this racing would have been possible this year, as Junior is actually the car owner. We got to thank Jason, Steph, and Willow King. Those three, they've been my support, my crutch. They've helped me so much in the last 6 months to better my life and not only be able to race and have fun, but to actually keep me here and be positive and talk about it. I got to thank my wife and my kids for allowing me to do what I love and I guess what they love too, but definitely have to give a big shout out for them. A lot of time goes into it. A lot of family time that should not be spent at a shop or with a racetrack with three girls that they love, but we'll take it. If they love it, so we'll take it. Mike Pabs from Auto Trim, Barry. Huge shout out to him for all our wrap stickers, whatever we need. As soon as we need it, he's fast. Hi, Alyssa. We got Technicore, Underground, um, Nikki's Tire, Fast Forward Audio, um, Hammer Down Apparel, Spencer Lewis. Big shout out to him. He supports me from day one. That guy's a legend. You want some fancy words thrown on paper, make you look good. He can do that for sure. Him and Brandon are one hell of promoters. We give them credit for all they do. Sandra and Brian Toddish for a place for us to race this year and all season long in years to come. Who we missing, babe? I think that's everything. That's everyone I want to thank. Oh, and you know what? I really want to thank. I want to thank everyone that enjoys running their mouth and creating rumors about me. It actually drives me to do better. I really enjoy it. So for everyone out there that's let me know that I bought my championship this year, I appreciate it, and I'll be back next year to buy another one. That's my announcement. I have to let everyone know. I really do. The rumors drive me, and I love it.
Oh
yeah,
my
we're going
God.
back to buy another championship next year. So if you're gonna race Bones Hockey, you might as well park them now because we're coming out again. I guess is the way they look at it. That's the rumor around the track anyway. So I thought I'd.
Oh boy. Oh man, I wasn't expecting that at all.
I want to thank
Oh.
them. I thank them for driving me harder. You'll make me put another couple hours in the shop every week just to come out and put another lap on you.
Oh boy. Well, I will be excited to see how well you do next season up at Sunset Speedway. I will be keeping an eye on you for sure next year. But we do thank you. We got to thank you for taking the time out of your night to be able to come chat with us about your season and enjoy the off season. Rest up. Hope you get better soon, and we'll catch up. We'll catch up with you later.
Thank you very much. Enjoy your off season too. I also appreciate everything you guys and stickers and stuff do for us too. For small racing community, it keeps us actually bigger than everyone knows. And without you guys, we probably wouldn't even really be on the map.
Well, thank you for those words. I appreciate it, man. But yeah, go enjoy the rest of your night, okay?
All right, have a good night.
Next up, we got the Delaware Speedway late model champion. We got Ray Morneau joining us. Ray, how's it going, man?
Good. Thanks for showing me on tonight.
No problem. It's nice to be able to chat with you twice in a year on the podcast because that means you won the championship, which is awesome. But how did your we know the championship, but how did your 2024 season go?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Obviously, to get our second championship in the late model series, that's awesome. But it was a lot of ups and downs. I will say that we started off the year with a couple of not so great finishes, and then through the middle portion toward the end of the year, we really found something with our car. We won 3 races in a row at Delaware, and including the 75 lapper, and it was we kind of got on a run there for a little bit, and got our points lead up to where at the last night we didn't have to, kind of just had to start and stay out of trouble. So made for a little bit of an easier championship night, but no, it was good. I had a lot of fun.
That's awesome, man. It was you've been I'll be honest, man, you've been one of my favorite drivers for the past like 4 years now, because you've always seemed like this like humble, down to earth guy, and when I'm looking for racers to cheer for, you fit the mold kind of deal. So to be able to see you get your second championship, freaking amazing. Loved it. I know you guys have you're a small team, but you have a ton of support behind you that really helps out, that I'm sure helps out as well in various ways. But going into the final night, like you said, you had a nice points cushion, just had to stay out of trouble. Knowing this one was, a nice finish for you, what did that feeling feel like for you guys when you were like, hey, just stay out of trouble, take it nice and easy tonight, don't have to push it? Did it take some pressure off you guys in that final night, or did you feel like there's a little bit of added pressure still?
It's a little bit of both, to be honest. I mean, it was pressure off because we didn't have to go out there. We weren't behind and trying to, if you go there and you're behind, there's only one thing you have to do. You have to go out there and win. That's pressure in itself, but it took pressure off just knowing that we didn't have to be 100%. We didn't have to be on that night. But it's also, there's still added pressure. I mean, we couldn't break. We had to start the race at least, right? So if something happens during practice and you can't start, then you don't win the championship, right? So
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, it wasn't over before we got there or anything, but we like I said, we had a pretty easy championship night. But definitely still in the back of your mind, you could still, something could happen.
That's the crazy part about racing is no matter what you do, you can look over your car 100 times throughout the week leading up to something, but there's always that small nut that could come loose and just absolutely ruin your night.
Yeah, for sure. We went over the car 2 or 3 times that week. We had a week off between the APC race and our championship night. Went through the car 2 or 3 times just to make sure. But like you said, I mean, it doesn't take much for something to go haywire, right? It's something that could be out of your control too, right? So it's we prepared as much as we could, and thankfully nothing drastic happened, and we ended up starting the race, and we had a decent car. We weren't great, but we knew going there we didn't have to be spot on. So we ended up 3rd championship night, but enough to seal the deal.
That's awesome. It's great to be able to etch your name in the trophy, in the record books there as a 2-time Delaware Speedway late model champion. Obviously with you guys having the banquet on the weekend, has it now sunken in that you're like, okay, now we got that championship, now it's time to get to work? Or you're like, okay, we won the championship, let's take a little bit of time?
Yeah, it's definitely started to sink in. When you look down a list of champions in the late model division, my name is now up there with Jamie Cox's 2 championships in the late models. I believe Jess Kennedy has them. Those are big names out at Delaware Speedway, right? So it means a lot to see our name, and I know it means a lot to my family too. They're just as much into this as I am. So to have our name with those big names at Delaware Speedway, it means a ton. So still kind of getting over the stomach flu from the banquet. If you know where I'm going with that, we went to both because we ran the APC series too. So it was a rough couple of nights, but it was a ton of fun.
I was gonna say, I'm sure there's stories there that will last a lifetime.
yeah, for sure.
It's great, and I'll say this: I feel like Delaware plus the United Racing Series, they do it right. I hate when I see a banquet go in January, February. So I'm like, they've already had time for it to sink in. Like, but I like those. Like the season was done end of September.
Mm-hmm.
We're just after Thanksgiving, and they're like the banquets are done. Like now you can start preparing for 2024. I feel like if with guys like that, or with tracks that don't host it till later in the year, it's like it's kind of worn off. So I do like the fact that they get it all done early.
Yeah, for sure. And they put on a heck of a show. It is by far the best banquet we've ever been to. And my family's raced a long, long time, and they do it right. And like you said, to have it just after the season's done, it means a lot because it's still fresh. Like you said, it just happened. You don't have those 2, 3, 4 months to think about what happened and think about what you're going to say. It's all still pretty fresh.
And I like it when you guys are able to be just still a little bit emotional, because like I said, 4 months later, it's all done. The feeling's worn off. When the feeling's still there, it's really nice. So, and like I said, when you see the photos from those banquets, they're just amazing because it looks like it's just a great time there. I'm a little jealous that I'm no longer with a team that would go to those things. So, but yeah, it's that's good though. Now, obviously, going into the off season, what is your team's plans for the off season to prepare for 2025? Do you guys have any plans? Obviously, you can't talk about if there is any plans. You can't talk about them. But what are you guys planning to do this off season to prepare for next year?
Yeah, so me and my dad actually were kind of just going over that the other day. We're just looking at what we need to maintain or obviously try and get better for next year. So just going through our stuff, just making sure that nothing's going to break next year, and just looking for where we can get speed, and just want to try some stuff on both cars, really. Our Delaware car was good, but stuff can always be better, right? So the APC car, we're also looking at what we can do to get some speed out of that. We had a pretty good run of races there at the end of the year when we got back to the tracks a second time. So we're definitely looking forward to trying to see what we need, and try and figure out that. But we're kind of taking a break here for the next few weeks, and then we'll start getting after it and seeing what we can do to make 2025 better.
Now, I do want to just confirm this. Are you guys planning on doing your little cooler draw again the next year?
Yes, that's something
that's a staple, I think, now.
Yeah, we like to do that. It's something that we can give back, kind of thing too, right? It's a lot of people want to help us out. Just you at this stage of racing, you know, it's hard to have a bunch of people on the car, right? So we do that for friends and family that want to help out. And I mean, who doesn't like a cooler full of booze?
Not many people wouldn't turn that down. One of the other fun things you guys do actually throughout the year is you guys do a Pack the Track night. We had Trevor Culliver on here. I know he did one. If I remember, Jennifer Hatch did one this year, and it seems like such a popular event. Where did that kind of start for you guys to do kind of the Pack the Track as well?
Yeah, so we had saw that Trevor did it, and we have a lot of people that come out to the track from Windsor, but you can always try and pull out more. And it was my sister's idea. My sister, my mom and dad, they thought about the idea, and they kind of spearheaded it and went after it. And they do all that with the track and getting that all organized. We're pretty busy with the race car, like myself. So they do a good job with looking after that and getting that all organized. And it's good to get more people out to the track, right? You get a lot of people from down Windsor way. They've been out of racing so long since Checker Flag closed around here in 92 or 93. So they don't get out to tracks, but the more people we get out, they bring somebody, and it just, you get new fans out there, and then they keep coming back, right? So that's what it's all about. And I'm just fortunate, like I said, that my family loves it as much as I do, and they do this kind of stuff to support the tracks and get fans out there, and they kind of follow along with me, which is cool.
Yeah, I've always been. It's one of those things. It's an event that I feel is needed for the track and to help not only the track grow, but for you as well as a driver to grow as well. So kudos to you and your team for doing that. Before we kind of end this, I got to talk to you about something. So kind of doing with I've already talked to Trevor about this, but no one else has heard it until, because that episode hasn't come out yet. So we'll talk after. But before we let you go, because, I know you have a nice big list of supporters. I don't want you to miss out on any of them. But who do you want to thank for helping you out through the 2024 season, both on the APC side and on your Delaware side? Who do you want to thank? Friends, family, anyone? But the floor is yours to thank everyone.
Yeah, so I got to take the opportunity first to thank my mom, my dad, my sister. They, like I said, they're just as addicted to this racing deal as I am, and they want it as much as I do. So I can't thank them enough for their support. I got to thank my crew. They do a lot for me. This year was hectic with running both series. I think we ended up running 19 races, somewhere around there. 6 weekends were Friday and Saturday. So I got to thank my crew and a couple of my sponsors from the Friday night deal at Delaware had helped out with the Saturday races at APC. So to have that support from friends, family, and crew, and like I said, some of my sponsors to carry over there, that meant a lot. So we'll start off with my Friday night sponsors. First and foremost, got to thank JR Excavating. They have a bunch of divisions, and we can't thank them enough. Dutch Brothers is on board, East Elgin Concrete Forming, Hallmark Memorial, Toromont Cat, Reed Farms, Iron Mike Industries, Crown Comber, Turner Landscaping, Rapid Drainage, Lakeshore Landscaping, St. Dennis Machining, Expressway Trucks, and I think that's everybody. Sun Parlor Trailers. There's a long list. We got a lot of support.
I know you do. That's
for
why
our Delaware series. We really appreciate everybody for that. And then our APC deal, it was heavily backed by Leuna, the union, and we had Jones Demolition, Priestley Demolition. APC was on board with us. East Elgin Concrete Forming, Render Construction, and that wraps up everybody for that. So I can't thank everybody enough for this year. It meant a lot to do both series. Like I said, it was a hectic one for sure. It was hard on our family, and it was busy, but I wouldn't change it for the world.
Well, that's the beauty part of it, right? You know, you're gonna have lifetime memories, you're gonna have lifetime stories, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's we're a pretty big family oriented team, like I said, and it means a lot to have those families and companies on board.
All right, man. Well, we're not going to take up too much more of your night tonight, but we got to thank you for taking the time to join us to talk about your championship season. Congratulations once again on your season. Enjoy the off season, and we are looking forward to seeing you in 2025.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Joining us now is the 2024 Grindstone Landscaping Canadian Vintage Modified Champion. We got Ricky Willigar with us. Ricky, how's it going, man?
I'm doing good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well. Congratulations on your championship. I know you. This one's well overdue for you. Coming into the series 4 years ago, and you know you never finished worse than third in points. The closest you were was second, and this year you climbed that top spot on the podium. How did that feel for you to secure that championship this year?
Super awesome. I'm very grateful to do what I'm doing. Yeah, like you said, I got two thirds, a second last year, and then finally got the championship this year. Yeah, it just felt super amazing. Me and my dad are super stoked to do this for him. This was his dream, so I'm just glad I can do it with him.
Yeah, he's your dad's been very supportive of you. You guys have worked tooth and nail on that damn car over the last 4 years, and I've seen the work you guys have put in over that time to really, compete with the guys and gals in the Canadian Vintage Modified Series. But this year it sucks because it got rained out. Championship night got rained out. How close of a battle was it overall for points going into that final night for you guys?
I think for me, we were ahead by quite a bit because I think TJ and Rodney kind of are having problems the last couple of races. So luckily, sorry for them. I wish it didn't happen for them, obviously, but I luckily skated by with a couple extra points there. But they were pretty close. I'm pretty sure they were within a couple points. So kind of sucks that the last race got rained out for that reason. They could have battled maybe for that second spot.
Yeah, it's obviously going into the night, you guys weren't really worried, and then Mother Nature decided to rain, and you're like, you know what, we're not going to race tonight. Was that a relief for you and your team knowing that, like, hey, it's official, we secured it now? Or were you guys already feeling kind of confident going into that final night? You guys were like still really confident on it?
Actually, we were really depressed after we heard. Actually, we were really wanting to go race no matter where we finished. We always try to win no matter what. It would have been sweet to end off with a win anyways, but yeah, we were just really stoked to go out for the last race, and if we got crowned the championship that night, it would have been an awesome celebration. But sadly, we were halfway to the track, just got some ice in the coolers, and just pulled out of the parking lot with full 3 coolers of ice with drinks and stuff. And then, yeah, I got the Facebook message saying it was canceled. And we just looked at each other kind of sad. And we're like, oh my God, I guess we're turning around.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part about it. You didn't get really a chance to celebrate with all the other drivers in the series, your family, your friends at the track after the races. But you guys will get to do that in a couple weeks. Yeah, in
Yeah,
a couple weeks here,
November 2nd. Yeah.
and then you'll get to hang out with all your friends and family, your racing family, and your all your other family and friends, and get to get a night to celebrate the champion and everyone's accomplishments throughout the year. Uh, this year it felt weird for me because this was the first time in 4 years I haven't really focused on the CVMs as much, and I feel bad because I love the division. You guys welcomed me with open arms 4 years ago, and I love the cars. All the drivers that you guys are all phenomenal. I can't say anything bad about any one of you guys because it's a team effort to have that series running still. But for you to be able to go win that championship this year, what did that mean for you and your family?
Oh, it meant everything. Like I said, this has been my dad's dream, so I'm just happy that I could do it with him and win the championship with him. It's what we've always been striving for since we started. He always told me there's not pressure on the championship, obviously right away, because as we started 4 years ago, I've had literally no experience in a race car ever. We just kind of jumped into it, and I said, yeah, let's do it. And through the guidings of legends like Ron Easton and Jeremy Riopel has been a big help with us as well. And without them, I don't think we definitely wouldn't be as where we are today for sure.
Yeah, you had some really a big helping hand behind the scenes that helped elevate your guys' program from the get go. I remember watching you go out there and practice in 2020 and just watching you lay down consistent lap times and just get faster each time out as well. I was like, man, this guy is going to be someone to watch out for, and you know what, you proved me right, which is good. I was like, kept watching, and we're like, man, you're going to do good things. Like I have this feeling, and you went out, you won your rookie year.
First year, yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't technically the memorial race, was it?
I can't quite remember.
God, I can't remember either. But I remember you got the win, which obviously was a huge deal for you guys. And now you have been chasing that championship since. And when you have drivers such as T.J. Marshall, Rodney Rutherford, we had Jared Morphy, Mike Pod. It's such a competitive division because on any given night, there's about 5 to 6 cars that could actually go out there and win on any given night. Doesn't matter the situation. But for you guys, obviously, it has to be consistency to be able to get it done. That's the only way it in that division does it ever work out is consistency. And obviously, this year the consistency went on. I don't think you had too many mishaps this year, did you?
I think that's like the first half we had a few, but definitely not as many as we've had in the past years. So with a little bit of luck on our side, which was nice this year, and yeah, it definitely helped for sure.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. I've been so as soon as I heard that you won the championship, I was like, man, hell of a job. Like I said, I've known.
Thank you.
I knew you were going to be a champion. It was just when, and I was kind of hoping I was there to cover it, but life changes plans for you,
For sure.
Obviously this year, huge deal for you guys. What is your goal? What are you and your family doing this offseason to kind of unwind from the championship season and prepare for next year?
I think we have not really much to do on the car. Of course, my dad always wants to work on it. It's just that's his thing, right? He'll always touch that thing forever. And I think we have maybe a little bit of body work to do, but nothing major. Maybe a couple bent bars we'll have to fix up. But Other than that, I don't think too much. Maybe just kind of think on what else we could do to improve because we always do want to improve. And me as a driver, I definitely still want to improve. I'm not even close to perfect, obviously. So just trying to work your way to the perfect laps as best as you can is kind of what we try to do.
Yeah, and the best part is when if you think you're perfect, that means you're not learning enough. I always think, anyways,
Yeah,
because there's always a way for you guys to be better. And like I said, watching you guys for the last 4 years, I saw it. I saw the work ethic you guys put in. So, like I said, this was a well overdue championship in my opinion. I felt like you could have won any time in the last 4 years. Just you know, consistency is the name of the game.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Loved having you around too at the beginning. You're a big help for the series as well with all the media. So we would also like to thank you for doing what all you do.
Thank you. Like I said, it was a blast. I loved it. I love the division. I love the cars, and I miss it every single day, pretty much. Um, but before we obviously next year, so you're planning on going back to the CVMs next year, competing for a second championship.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, we want to defend the title, I guess, for sure. And I mean, it'd be cool to even jump in a car somewhere else in a different series here or there would be sweet. It'd be cool to, I don't know if it would ever happen, but to do a different track with the CVMs, maybe we get invited somewhere, which would be really cool because I've only ever driven on Flamborough.
Yeah.
But it was a really good way to learn though. Like from no racing to this, it was actually nice to have just one track that I can learn and try to get consistent and learn the way of racing and the oval track racing but to expand to different tracks would be pretty cool too.
I would love to see the CVMs go back to Sauble Speedway. The track I think is perfect for you guys. I'm gonna in the cars you guys run. I'm gonna be honest, because it's kind of like Flamborough, but it's more flat. Like it's flatter than Flamborough, but it's straightaways and it's hard braking zones to make the corner. And I feel like that it's similar a little bit that way to Flamborough, and it's really still momentum based as well. But I would love to see the CVMs tour again. There's so many people ask about them, and with some of the cars you guys have, and the drivers, and the personalities, it would be great to see you guys travel again. I've been wanting. I would want to see you guys travel for like the last 4 years.
Yeah, no, that'd be awesome. Like I was lucky, like I said, for the only one track thing, but I think now that maybe the club's been picking up a bit and COVID's kind of a couple of years ago and maybe people had enough time to save some money, but I know that was a big thing and the keeping it for the same track was just because of the money issue and stuff like that, try to keep it reasonable for everybody. But yeah, it'd be awesome to get an invite, even if it was only one invite to a track or two invites next year would be pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Before we let you go, I know you always had a nice big group of people around the car. I know it's just you and your dad a lot of times working together, but yeah, I know you've had a lot of support behind the scenes as well. I want to give you the next few minutes here to thank everyone and anyone who's helped you out in any sort of way. Could be your grandparents that are across the pond you don't see. To a dog you're thinking of adopting 10 years from now. So, and your sponsors, of course. So the floor is yours for the next few minutes. Please feel free to thank everyone and anyone.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you for doing this, obviously. Big thanks to Grindstone Landscaping for sponsoring the club. Definitely wouldn't be possible without them. Huge thank you to my dad, obviously. He's the reason why we're doing this. And without him doing all his hard work on the car, we wouldn't be here for sure. Same with Ron Easton from Oakville Trailers and Racing Stuff. He's a massive, massive part in why we're doing as good as we are doing. Also, Fowler Tire, another sponsor of ours we got this year. Big thank you to them as well on Fairway Road in Kitchener. Yeah, thank you to all the drivers. You guys have been awesome as well. The whole club has been very welcoming. It's been really helpful from coming from not racing to racing to be, it was a little nerve-wracking trying to do this. It's kind of like a roller coaster. So it's nice to have some nice people to talk to and get some tips from too. Like I remember talking to a few guys like Mike Pod as well and Jeremy Murphy trying to give me some tips. So I really appreciate them as well. And also, yeah, same with Jay Pepin. He's been really instrumental as well in this club. He's the VP and he's been doing a lot of stuff to help the club with marketing, bringing sponsors, and see him come in the club and do as well as he's doing now. He's getting better within every race. So congrats to him and his family as well for doing all they do in the racing. And also Maddox Pepin, good job for him too, gotten the rookie of the year. And yeah, I think that's it.
All right, man. Well, thank you so much again for joining us tonight on our Champions episode as we celebrate all the 2024 champions. Enjoy your off season. Good luck next year, and hopefully we have you back again next year as a 2-time champion.
Yeah, thanks so much for doing this. And yeah, I hope so too. That'd be awesome. Back to back.
Exactly. Go enjoy your night though, okay, man?
Thanks, buddy. You too.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Joining us now is the 5-time champion, is it?
Yep.
5-time champion of the OSCAAR Hot Rod Series. We got Tyler Hawn joining us. Tyler, how's it going, man?
Oh, not too bad. How about yourself?
I'm doing really well. How was your 2024 season for you?
It wasn't too bad. We had a lot of ups and downs this year, mostly downs, but we worked hard to be able to get that championship this year.
And we were kind of talking a little bit there before we came on, and you said that this wasn't an easy championship to win by no means. You got stuck. You said you got stuffed in the wall the first night. Obviously, kind of felt like you maybe set your season back a little bit, but clearly you guys overcame it.
Oh yeah, definitely did. We found like after we got stuffed in the wall, like we found a few things, but then like it seemed like every week after when we go through the car, we'd end up seeing like some cracks in the chassis that we'd have to fix, and then there was a big one we found in the sway bar tube, and as soon as we got that fixed, we went out one night at sunset, and as soon as I started scuffing tires for practice, I'm like, car's back. So we were good from there. We had a fella come down from North Carolina and gave us some pointers on the car. So we were the last half of the season, we were doing a lot of experimenting with some of the stuff he was telling us, and it gave us a big push to make some changes for next year that I think will be really good for us.
That's awesome, man. It's obviously for you guys, it's not easy. It wasn't an easy championship to win this year, but obviously it's well deserved because you guys worked your butt off all year long, and when you guys got to Autumn Colors, you guys were able to crown yourself. You guys were crowned the 2024 champions in the OSCAAR Hot Rod Series, and of course, being a 5-time champion. You won four in a row too, right?
No, we got.
Or was it 3?
No, there was 3 in a row.
Yeah. So 3 in a row, like five championships. That's and the series hasn't been around that long either, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it's 7 years, I believe it is now.
7 years. So we all, I guess, if some of my friends Megan and Caitlin are listening to this, guys, I found one of our questions for our Checkers or Wrecker segment on the driver's seat. That's yeah. But Meg, obviously, congratulations on the championship. It's between you and your brother. We actually got your brother coming on in a little bit, not tonight, but on Thursday.
Oh, nice.
So, and we were supposed to have him on last year, but issues came up and I wasn't able to record with him. But we're gonna make up for it. We got him coming on Thursday.
Wicked.
Both of you guys to win a championship in the same year. How does that feel for you and your family, though?
It's huge. The reason why we're still doing this is for Dad, right? Dad's not with us anymore, and like me and my brother had a conversation there last night about how jacked up he would be right now. I don't even know if he could emotionally take us getting these championships and him seeing like where we're at. He was our biggest supporter, and he just we feel him with us every race we go to, right? But yeah, he'd just be so pumped up.
Oh yeah, Your dad was a heck of a racer, from what I've heard, and it's unfortunate that he's passed, but being able to win a championship and the reason you guys continue is for him. Really, we can see that on track week in and week out because not only do you do amazing stuff in the hot rods, Daniel goes out there and does amazing stuff in his Can-Am midget, which I thought he was supposed to get out of that and go to a super stock.
Well, that's that. I'm not a big fan of those small cars, and just like I just don't like how small the tubing and stuff is. But they're safe.
Yeah,
we build safe stuff, but like I want him to get into a big car because like he's going to excel, and he's shown that so far at the end of the season with the super stock. Like he's been out there killing it, and I'm just not surprised. The kid doesn't surprise me.
You guys, I feel like this is one of those things that I should have had both of you guys on at the same time to talk about it, because I feel like there's so much more we could have divulged into the conversation. But obviously for you, how was that feeling like for you that, it sucks that it was a rain out that caused that caused Daniel to get the championship wrapped up, but how did you feel for him to win one as well in the same year as you?
I was so happy. Like I see in a lot of comments and stuff like, oh, that's not how you win a championship and all. You know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if there's a rain out or whatever happens. Like you work all year.
Yep.
To stay up in the points, and it doesn't matter if it's cut short by one race. Like it's not like there was 1 point between first and second. So like, it just, good old like internet warriors, I call them, and it's just, just so pumped up for him, man. Like we're going back down to Florida this winter to try again down there, and we have a different program going down there with James and Darren, and I think we're gonna have a lot better outcome this year down there. From like all the notes that they've all gained this year in the Can-Ams, right? So
yeah,
it's just we just gotta keep our heads down and keep going, and he amazes me in every race he goes in.
Oh yeah. For you though, because I want to get back on you. That's why.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's why we're talking to you tonight. I always say the OSCAAR schedule is probably one of the most unique schedules in Ontario racing, because not only do you guys go to every single asphalt track, you guys also make an annual trip to Brighton to go run on the dirt. What is that like for you guys, especially going into especially planning ahead in a championship battle? Because I know you guys don't just go out there to settle for wins. Wins are nice, but the end of the season is where you guys really look forward to. For the dirt side, though, what are you guys planning when you guys go into that? Are you guys just looking to survive? Are you guys looking to compete? Especially now with having those years under your belt because I think for the most part they've pretty much at least run one event on dirt every single year.
Yeah. The like we treat the dirt race like we're going for an asphalt race. Like, we want to go out to win or like points race, so we need to have the best finishing possible. But when I go to the dirt, man, I have a ton of fun. Like it's a blast. And like, believe it or not, we change absolutely nothing with the car. We put our dirt tires on it, and we just go out and we have fun, and it's a blast. It's rough, like the car's dirty after, like working on the car right now. There's dirt everywhere, but it's, if I had to give like I think any racer out there that races asphalt needs to go try dirt, and it's a blast. So I don't know, I just treat it like we're going asphalt racing,
That's awesome. I was always, I think we talked about the last time you were on the show with us to talk about what that transition is like. And I think you said the same thing as well, that you treat it exactly like an asphalt race. And that's an event I want to get to, is seeing you guys go out on dirt, because I don't know what it is. I feel there's a little bit of nostalgia there, because when you look at NASCAR with its origins, it raced a lot on the dirt.
Oh yeah,
It wasn't the asphalt world like we know today, and they
yeah.
were running cars that looked exactly like your division. And I want to get out there and actually watch one of you guys, like watch one of those races on dirt, because like I said, it looked like you said it's a lot of fun inside the car. When I see pictures and videos, it looks like a ton of fun.
It's a blast, man. And like, you know, like everybody that goes to the races and the hot rods, nobody has a bunch of dirt experience. So we're all like helping each other out with ideas and what lines to run and all that kind of stuff, you know. And it's just a blast, man. Like you'd have a good time.
Oh yeah, it's the dirt side has really taken over in my household. My wife absolutely loves going to the dirt track, so I'm. Who knows? Maybe there'll be a trip to Brighton in 2025 for me.
Yeah,
I'll watch you guys race.
It's a nice place too. It's clean. Like everybody's super nice there. You know, like it's a nice place to go.
Oh yeah. For you guys, the season is about 12 races.
Yeah.
Spanning, from essentially Labor Day weekend, not Labor Day, sorry, Victoria Day weekend ish to Thanksgiving weekend. I feel like there's still a lot of off time for you guys between races, but there's really not to prepare for each race.
Well, no, like we also ran the sunset deal.
Yeah.
Like I'm a racer. I like to race every time I can, right? And so I think all summer there was 2 times where we had a weekend off, and it was a lot, man. Like it was a ton of work, but at the end of the day, it's worth it, right?
Absolutely. How did you actually fare out in that sunset deal this year?
We didn't do too good this year. We used that for like a lot of our, like, you could call it like R&D, like
Yep.
see if they would work there. And at the beginning of the year, our plan was to go for like double championships this year, but it didn't work out for us.
And you know what? There's always next year, right?
Oh, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, we're into the off season now. You just you celebrated your championship on the weekend with the United Racing Series banquet down in London area. What was that event like for you guys at for the United Racing Series banquet?
It was awesome, man. We all had a good time. It's just amazing to see like how many teams are there, and you don't like, because we don't always run with the super stocks and the late models. So like when everybody's all together, like there's a lot of teams, and we all had a good time. The banquet was really fun, and like it was a blast.
That's awesome. What are your plans for the off season though? Are you guys winding down? Are you going to work on the car? Kind of what's the plans?
Well, so far we've been working on the car every night since the season stopped. We got to get the motor fresh in and just do the typical maintenance and changing the body back again. And I have to have some back surgery here in the next couple months, so that I'm trying to get as much done as I can now before I'm laid up for a bit with that. So yeah, so just keep moving forward and have a little downtime here and there, but not too much.
I was gonna say, I mean, after your surgery, you're gonna have a little bit more downtime to.
Yeah.
But it's forced downtime essentially.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
of course, you got to spend time with family and friends before that happens as well, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. We have my brother's banquet at the end of November, and then we're gonna hit up the Sunset banquet as well this year. So we'll be busy having fun.
That's awesome. Before we let you go, I do want you to take some time to thank your friends, your family, anyone and everyone, your sponsors, race fans, the series, whoever you want to thank. But we'll give you the floor here for the next few minutes to thank everyone.
Sure. I just gotta do a big shout out to like the people that are in my corner. Like there's a lot of times where winning championships, everybody's like, "Oh, that's amazing," but there are like a lot of haters out there, and if you know me personally, I'm not that type of guy to, like, I don't hate anybody, so like I hear a lot of stuff people saying and talking and all that, and like if that makes you happy, then so be it. But like, I gotta give a big shout out to Xander, my crew chief. He's in the shop with me every single night. He brings his little guy around to the races every chance he can. We had him out at Sunset in their little Power Wheels race, and
Oh,
it was awesome, man. And then I got to thank my brother and James and just everybody, like Amanda, Dayton, Ebby, everybody that comes to the races every week when they can, and my sponsors like Marlene McLean, Tire Depot. They're huge support for me. Seaton Structures came on this year, and he was a great help. Fox's Bun Master, Brian McDonald Fab. We do a lot of stuff to the car using his brain. Georgian Contracting, they came on this year to help me out. Zenitech, Image Wraps, trying to think who else. If I forget anybody, I'm sorry, but it's just there's just so many people. I'd have to make a list, But if it wasn't for these people, man, I wouldn't be able to do this. Chasing Dad's dream,
absolutely. And it's great to see you and Daniel also continue on with your guys' family legacy. And I hope to see many more championships between the two of you guys throughout the years to come. But it's been an absolute pleasure, as always, to have you on the show. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your night to chat with us about your championship season.
Well, thank you very much, and thanks for everything you guys do.
No problem. It's a blessing. I love being able to talk to you guys because this is a lot of fun.
Oh, it is a good time, and bench racing's fun too. Talk about it and have stories and all that.
Exactly, right? Like you guys all have stories. Some I know y'all can't tell, and I understand that. But we want to get the stories you guys are legally allowed to tell, essentially.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. We'll have to get, maybe something together. Get me and my brother on at the same time. We'll have some laughs.
I will. I'm working on a guest list for next year.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do a Hawn brother episode 100%.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
All right, man. Well, go enjoy your night, enjoy your off season, rest up, and we'll see you at the track next year.
Thanks very much, man.
Have a good one.
You too.
And in our final slot tonight for our Celebration of Champions episodes we got going on here for part 3, we got the DAYCO Super Stock Series champion. We got Carson Nagy joining us. Carson, how's it going, man?
I'm doing good. You?
I'm doing really well. How was your race year? How's your race season this year?
It was probably one of the rougher ones we've had in the last couple seasons, but it was a ton of fun, and obviously we had a bit of success in it, so it was a really good year overall.
I mean, you can't really complain when at the end of the season you get to walk away with a championship.
Yeah, absolutely.
As kind of standard fashion for you, you ran 2 different series this year. You ran, obviously, the DAYCO Super Stock Series that travels Ontario, but then you also have your home track at Delaware Speedway. Where did you finish in points in Delaware this year?
Yeah, at Delaware we ended up second. We were looking pretty good throughout the year. Trevor Culver, the one car there, he was on fire all season long. We were battling him pretty hard throughout the year, but he was the one to beat all season long. So I guess second and first is all right this year.
I mean, you can't go wrong when you said you had some issues with a little bit of rough driving this year, I guess. But to still be able to walk away with one championship, almost 2, at the end of the season, you can't complain with that.
Not one bit, and especially being so close to doing what we did last year, winning both championships and finishing 1-2 in this year's stuff. I can't complain one bit.
Honestly, you can't really, and you've really shown us why you are one of the premier talents in the super stock division in Ontario. You've won, 2 championships with the DAYCO stuff. And then not only that, but you're also a Delaware Speedway champion. You win races everywhere you go. You're a top 5 car, top 3 car everywhere you go. For you guys to compete a full season and the effort you guys have to do, what kind of stuff do you guys have to throw into your program to compete in all the races you guys do?
It takes a lot. It's a lot of hours. Me and my brother will get home after work at like 6 or 7, and we're out to the shop until 11 some nights, 11, 12, and then we're back at work the next morning by 7 or 8. And my dad, he works on it during the day because with the dance studio, he works at night like 5 till 10:30. So it's a bit of almost like a shift work between us three. Luckily, we have a couple good friends, Nate Spinks and Wally Wilson. They come out to our shop every once in a while, and there's a lot that goes into it. You know, at the beginning of the season, we deal with all our tires right away, trying to figure out what we're going to use. And then, you know, if I tear some stuff up the week before, got to tear it apart and repair it. And there's a lot that goes into our program, but I wouldn't change anything.
No, I wouldn't expect you guys to, because for you guys, especially coming from a racing family, you guys have shown why, you know, the Nagys are between you and your brother are really a double threat for the most part, because, you know, when we see even Hudson out on the track, he does amazing as well. So you guys have a really stellar program. Obviously, putting in effort on 2 cars, absolutely insane, because I don't know how some of these other guys manage 2 cars or 3 cars or whatever. But still, to be able to go and compete each week, because you're out by like Brantford area too, right?
Yeah, we're like 15, 20 minutes down the highway from Brantford. We're right by the Hamilton Airport. So
okay,
luckily we're pretty centered to everywhere we go race.
I mean, yeah, you can't. It's like what, an hour and a little bit to Delaware on a Friday night.
Yeah.
See, that's not terrible. I used to do the Delaware run from Guelph, and it felt like it was like a 2-hour drive each way. And oh boy, but to all the tracks that you race at, you know, you run Delaware twice with the DAYCO stuff. You go to Peterborough, you run Flamborough, and you also run Sunset. It's a really short season for the DAYCO Super Stocks, just 5 races, but your home tracks also plays a factor into competing for the points. For you guys, like, that's how big of a deal is it for you guys to run a home track and the DAYCO stuff?
Yeah, it's cool. You know, I love going out and supporting Delaware Speedway in the Inventory Express Super Stock Series. I wouldn't want to go to any other racetrack personally, just because of the talent at Delaware Speedway. You know, we grew up racing at Flamborough, and then we needed a bit of a change of scenery. You know, we've been going since we were 4 years old, racing, and you know, the last year we were there, me and Justin Collison went at it for the championship there in 2021, and we wanted to move on to Delaware, and that's where we started racing with 20, 25 cars weekly, and there's at least 10 cars in that field that could win. You know, it's really cool supporting the home tracks and that affecting our points. It just gives us that extra incentive to get out there.
Oh, for sure. And of course, running the DAYCO, like I said, it's a short 5-race season. You can't really mess up at all at any event, because you have to be on your game at every time you offload to even have a chance at sniffing for the championship, it seems like.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, this year it seems like Peterborough Speedway, that first race of the season, the last couple of years, it's set up your year. So like the last 2 years, we were able to pick up a win at Peterborough to start the year. And then we always end up having at least one bad race. This year it was Flamborough for us. We blew the motor going out to qualify. And then Colin Everingham came over to me and said, come see if you can reach the pedals in my car. So after some moving around, I was able to press it with my big toe going down the straightaway, and we made it work for 50 laps, and we ended up finishing 3rd with it. So I got really lucky this season with being there, but yeah, I love this series. It's high pressure. It's you can't skip a beat. You know, it's just a ton of fun.
Of course, and I feel like being aired on Racing America as I guess a lower tier series to the APC stuff, it brings more eyeballs to. I love it because it brings more eyeballs to our local short tracks, because you guys, you know, we've known about a lot of you guys for years.
Mm-hmm.
We all knew you guys were special on the racetrack. Like, there was no ifs, ands, or buts. But now I feel like we're able to, thankfully to G-Force and Racing America, we're able to showcase that more, and which I love. What have you noticed from a standpoint, like from that standpoint of being, knowing that it's being aired not just in Canada or locally or anything like that, but it's internationally at this point.
It's honestly crazy, like couple years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, we didn't have anything, and it's always seemed like it was on a bit of a decline with every racetrack with the grandstands being full or
Yeah,
half. But now with like G-Force and the United Racing Series, we're all on Racing America. There's so many more extra eyes, and there's more people talking about what we're doing up here, and it's really cool to see on Facebook and Twitter and everything. And it's really cool to hear from guys I know down south that are texting me saying, "Oh, that was an awesome race," or talking about the APC deal. It's really special to see that happening for us up here.
absolutely. For you guys though, this off season, what do you guys have planned? You guys taking some time off? You guys gonna be hard at work getting the cars ready for next year? What's kind of the plans?
Yeah, we've took a couple weeks off here. We had the banquet this weekend, but now it's game on. We started organizing the shop, cleaning it up, getting it ready to tear apart both cars. We don't really have a plan for next year yet. We've done it for a few years now at every track in Ontario, and want to try something different, but we don't know what that is yet. So it's going to be carry on same as normal. Get the cars ready. They got to be ready to go regardless. But yeah, we're about to start tearing these cars apart here probably this weekend.
It's you know what, and that's good because I've always been a big proponent of get all the crap done before Christmas. Figure it out before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
That way, January, February, March, when you don't have any money because all the money's spent on Christmas and the race car, you can enjoy family time or spend more time with friends at that point because the car is almost ready to go. And I do like seeing the hard work that you guys put in, making sure those cars are ready to go each week.
I think Colton's a madman. He's already got that stripped down and powder coated, ready to go get painted. We're moving back in here.
When I saw that photo, I'm like, he wasn't joking when he said he was gonna pull that thing out the next day after Autumn Colors. Yeah. Like I had him on the show not too like a month ago, it feels like, and he said like the day after Autumn Colors, that's gonna be out of the trailer, and I'm tearing it all down. Okay, I'm like, yeah, okay, I believe you. Now I really believe him because we're just a week out from Thanksgiving, and that thing's sandblasted. Like,
yeah,
I applaud him because that's insane.
Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy.
For you guys, I know you guys have a ton of support that backs you guys, not just sponsors, but families, friends, everyone. I want to give you this floor here for the next few minutes to thank those people, those friends and families, the unsung people that don't get a whole lot of recognition, and of course your sponsors. So I'll open the floor here for you for the next few minutes to thank everyone.
Yeah, I got to thank HawnReviewParts.ca. They popped on our team 2 years ago now, and they've been a huge supporter of us since. And I wouldn't want to have another sponsor with me that big. You know what I mean? They're such a great group of guys, and they support myself and my brother's car a ton. Queenston Chev, they've been sponsoring me since 2019. They've supported my family and myself for years, and it's really cool to have a connection like that and a relationship with a company like that. The Fireplace and Patio Shop, Wally, Paul, Steph, they support so much in Ontario racing, and I'm really thankful to have them on my car. I got to thank Nate Spinks, Wally Wilson, Nicole Spinks, my brother, dad, mom. We wouldn't be able to do this every week without them. And yeah, that's all I got right now. Just thank you for everyone who reaches out on social media, talking about the races, whoever goes to the racetrack, watches on TV. Thank you for supporting our series and checking things out on what we're doing up here.
All right, man. It's as always, it's always a nice little pleasure to sit down and chat with you. I wish you all the best in the off season. Go enjoy. I hope you have some good things planned to hang out with friends and family, whatnot. in between working on the race car, obviously. But enjoy your championship and enjoy your off season. We'll see you in 2025.
Yeah, of course. We'll see you guys in the spring.
All right, man. Go have a good night, okay?
Thanks. You too.
3, 2. And in our final slot tonight for our Celebration of Champions episodes we got going on here for part 3, we got the DAYCO Super Stock Series champion. We got Carson Nagy joining us. Carson, how's it going, man?
I'm doing good. You?
I'm doing really well. How was your race year? How's your race season this year?
It was probably one of the rougher ones we've had in the last couple seasons, but it was a ton of fun, and obviously we had a bit of success in it, so it was a really good year overall.
I mean, you can't really complain when at the end of the season you get to walk away with a championship.
Yeah, absolutely.
As kind of standard fashion for you, you ran 2 different series this year. You ran, obviously, the DAYCO Super Stock Series that travels Ontario, but then you also have your home track at Delaware Speedway. Where did you finish in points in Delaware this year?
Yeah, Delaware, we ended up second. We were looking pretty good throughout the year. Trevor Culver, the one car there, he was on fire all season long. We were battling him pretty hard throughout the year, but he was the one to beat all season.
And that is going to wrap it up for part 3 of our Celebration of Champions episode. I hope you guys have been enjoying this. We got one more down to go. We got a great lineup coming up on Thursday for a recording session. So I hope you guys are excited for that one. I'm excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. I love doing these because even though it's a short little 10-15 minutes, you still learn a lot, I find, and it really gives them a chance to be able to talk about their seasons and, and throw a few little other tidbits in there. So thank you guys, everyone, for taking the time to listen. I hope you guys enjoyed part 3 of our Celebration of Champions. Make sure you guys follow the True North Racing Podcast on all major podcasting platforms, including YouTube. And follow us, Joe Media and Promotions, on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and joemedia.ca for all the latest content. We got a lot of stuff coming out of the website this week. A lot of thank yous to all our drivers. So make sure you guys go stay tuned to that. But I'm going to call it a night. I hope you guys enjoy this. I have. And we'll see you guys all next time here. I'm on the True North Racing Podcast presented by Driving With Hailey. See you guys.
And feel the vibe going into overdrive. Drop the flag, then the car zooming by. Hey, True North Racing. Let's go.